Were the first shoes after Kobe's retirement any good? Let's find out. What's up guys, Vinny here with Sneaker Tweaker and welcome back to Mamba Mondays. Today's performance review is on the Nike Kobe A.D. Now, this shoe is a very controversial shoe because you either love these or you hated these. Now, I was one of those people that actually really loved these shoes. I'm not going to say that they were the absolute best performers in that sense. It was just, for me, it was just a really fun shoe to play in. Now, performance-wise, there was a lot of things left to be missed, but overall, I had a lot of fun playing in these shoes. Like I said, this is the first shoe that Kobe released after his retirement, aka the AD, after death. Doesn't mean after his actual death, it was after the death of essentially his career, basketball career. But overall, like I said, there was a lot of mixed feelings about these shoes. However, they were wildly popular in the NBA whenever they released. And that's just, I mean, nothing has changed with Kobe shoes even to this day. I don't know if so much it's that he's passed away, may he rest in peace, or you know, his shoes are actually that good, and his shoes are actually that good. But it could be a combination of both, that you're getting a lot of these NBA players wearing Kobe's. But again, enough of me blabbing. Let's get into the performance of it. And as always, let's start it off with the traction. Now, the Kobe AD, or the Nike Kobe AD, I guess, features a multi-directional traction pattern, and this one has nubs all over, let's say from the midfoot to the forefoot, and then from kind of, I guess, where the midfoot cuts off or divides to the heel, that you get more like the snake scale, and this is more kind of like the traction pattern on the Kobe 6, and that's on the back half of the shoe. Or on the front half, you get these nubs. Traction, honestly, for me, worked really well, and I played in these on our old 24-hour fitness courts that were always dirty. Literally, I don't think I've ever seen them clean those courts the whole time we were playing there. And we've hooped there since we moved to Utah, and that was back in 2006. And 2020 is whenever we stopped, just with COVID and everything. It pretty much shut down all the 24-hour fitnesses here in Utah. They just didn't last through that pandemic. During my time there though, I hooped in these a lot. Once I got these shoes, I think every night I was primarily hooping in these, just because for me, I love a low cut shoe. I love all the way the other Kobe's played and everything. So I pretty much this was my go-to, and the traction, like I said, worked really well. But because it was my go-to, you can see all the wear and tear on the traction pattern. You can see all these nubs, especially on my strike zones and where pretty much where my pivot points are. It's grinded down, it's ripped off. The rest of the traction pattern still looks okay, but where my strike zones are, that is pretty well grinded down. Now, dust collection, I wouldn't say was so much of an issue, just because the nubs themselves are pretty well separated. However, whenever there was too much dust present, I did generally have to wipe, more so because the dust stuck on the top layer of these nubs here and there. So quick wipe though, it was gone. I wouldn't say it was the most elite traction, but you got a pretty solid stop out of it. Durability, like I said, and like you can see, wasn't the best. So if you are planning on, you know, potentially getting these shoes and hooping in them outdoors, I would say maybe don't, just because these things right now, unfortunately, are a lot more expensive than they should be because of Kobe's passing. Now, I wouldn't, like I said, they're not the most amazing Kobe's that have ever been made, but they are Kobe's, they hold his name, so people are going to gouge the prices. They also have a decent squeak to them. I wouldn't say it's like super loud, but it's also not, you know, it's also still present. So if you like feedback from your shoes, you're going to get it from this. And overall, like I said, traction is pretty solid. Nothing to go crazy over, but solid performer. Now for the cushion, there was a lot of, I guess some of the biggest controversy was the cushion aspect, as far as the tech that Nike advertised, and then the tech that pretty much you feel whenever you put them on. For me, these felt good to me whenever I put them on. They're supposed to have a lunar long carrier with a heel zoom unit and the zoom unit is supposed to be a normal size zoom unit. And for me, I could feel the zoom unit in there. Some people say that they couldn't feel the zoom unit, or, you know, it was pretty much misinformed, even though it says zoom on the heel of the shoe. But for me, I could feel it and it felt super nice to me. Now, the Lunarlon, I would say, felt more like Phylon. And over time, the more I played in these, and as I mentioned, I hooped in these a lot, it got softer and softer for me. Now, eventually it did bottom out, but I had a very good and long run in these shoes. So I would say for me, they did the job well. Now, as for the fit on the Kobe ADs, these did fit true to size. I am a size 9, and I would say for me, they fit pretty well, and I had no issues with it. Now, it did fit a little snug, and there was a breaking in point that I had to go through. But after that, it was pretty much money. I mean, these broke in nicely. They molded to my feet, and they were good to go. As for the materials and the support, the Kobe ADs feature a textile mesh upper, and on top of that, you do have some felt around kind of, I guess, where the top eyelet is, going around to the heel and just going to the medial side just the same way. And then you also have this heel counter right here. That was an actual shank plate or anything for torsional support, and that honestly wasn't an issue. I mean, the shoe in itself is pretty sturdy. It's not twisting or going anywhere. It's got a lot of materials going around it, and you do have like these thick rubber portions going through the lateral side. You also have this nice outrigger on the lateral side, so for stability, it's there. Lockdown was pretty good. Now, one of the issues I had, and I guess you guys could kind of see from right here, these parts right here, I made the mistake of wearing the no-show socks and whatnot, hooping in these the first few times, and these really get your ankle, and it pretty much made my ankles bleed a few times. So I went over to quarter length or crew length socks, and those worked for me in order to kind of help protect my ankles from that. And with those socks, it really wasn't an issue afterwards. More so, if you're exposing your ankles to this, then it's going to happen. It's going to pretty much chafe them. The tongue also is a nice, I would say, synthetic leather tongue. It's nice enough where if you're cranking down on your laces and everything, it's going to relieve the lace pressure. Now, mine pretty much goes down lower than where the logo is. So a lot of times I did get lace pressure, so I didn't crank them down all the way. But even like that, the lockdown was great. You also have fly wire cables going around for the eyelets. On top of that, they're also looped through the upper. So that's nice for added reinforcement to just make sure, you know, your laces don't rip through. Now, the glue on, I guess, the toe box area right here where the outsole is connected has kind of let go, and it's kind of coming apart. I haven't hooped in these in a very long time, so I don't know if, you know, if I can put these on and hoop in them now. They might just fall apart, but I may try. Who knows? As for the weight, the Nike Kobe ADs in a size 9 weigh in at 12.4 ounces. So I would say for a size 9, that's pretty much right around average. And as for the retail price on the Nike Kobe ADs, they did retail in at $160. Overall, these were pretty solid performers, but I would say just like the Nike Kobe 11, these were one of those shoes that you had to get a solid rubber outsole, because I've seen a lot of people who ended up with a translucent outsole and they didn't have the best traction on that. But when you end up with a solid rubber outsole like mine is, I was very boring with my shoe colors, so I always wanted, you know, just the regular black and white ones. So luckily though, that paid off and I got a solid rubber outsole due to that, and the traction on these was solid for me. On top of that, the durability of the upper is just amazing. You have scuff marks on the rubber on the lateral side, but as far as like actual damage, you really don't see any damage to the shoe in itself. The only part I would say that's like damaged in a way is going to be the traction, and that's just the strike zones being worn down. So great shoe. I would say it's a little bit of a departure from his main line. The 11s were amazing as well, especially with the drop in midsoles. Cushion wise, you did lose a little bit of tech in this, especially because you didn't have the option to ID and put in a drop in midsole, such as a full length drop in midsole that you had the option in the Nike Kobe 11s. It did leave a lot to be desired, but I would still say it was a solid continuation to the Kobe line, and hopefully we get more AD models, newer AD models coming out with the new contract that Vanessa signed with Nike. One can only hope. Now, a lot of people also ask us where we get our basketball socks from. The answer is from Amazon. They come in a pack of 3 that costs just as much as one pair of Nike Elite socks. The ones we have are these 2 muted colors, which the white one and the black one, and they are quarter length. So if you guys like quarter length, they have them available in that, but they also have them in the high top version. Like I said, they come in a pack of 3 that costs just as much as the Nike Elites, and these are pretty much the same thing, but without the Nike branding. They're cushioned, they're ventilated, and they're amazing socks, and they last a long time. If you guys do want a pair, hit the link in our description down below and go grab yourselves a pack. Not a pair, grab yourselves a pack. If you guys have played in the Nike Kobe ADs, let us know your experience down below. If there are any other shoes or Kobe's you guys would like us to review, again, comment down below. For more content like this, please like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.